紧接上期啊，这是第7章啊，一次嘛基本上冲个2、3章总要冲的，它毕竟不算很长嘛。现在比较你小，这张看起来挺长的，这张看起来挺长的，来吧 ，continue。东西还挺多。门我上一期应该看过了，不用看了，反正回不去了。Abstract painting. It's a triangle, but it's going in circles. 啊，是那个形状。This drawing doesn't make a lick of sense. What does Lambert get out of this stuff? 嘛，这个嘛就是普通的庶民了。然后这个 Lambert 肯定应该是学者，学者一类，就知识分子。Abstract 是这又干嘛呢？It's a triangle made of cubes going in circles. I'd better stop looking at this before I strain something. This figure is impossible. 太知道了。Lamp. It's a lamp. 抽屉里估计有什么东西吧。It's just a regular old lamp. What else is there to say? 还有吗？没了是吧 ？Drawer. No, not much here except a box of mattress. Nah, this could come in handy. Hand. Oh, there's only one left in the box. Only one left in the box. 然后可以进去了是吧？还有 abstract painting， 抽象画。It's a painting of a bunch of stacked cubes. I actually can't tell which one is at the top. They all seem to be 看不清楚。It's messing with my eyes and my head. 走吧。我操，这房子确实还可以。Starburst clock. This guy sure has style. It's full of stars.
Boy.
Wine opener. It's a wine opener. 开瓶器。Small shelf. Nothing here of any interest. There isn't anything I can use. 还有抽象画。Not a curve in it, but it's going in circles. No matter how many times I work those steps with my eyes, they always end up in the same place. Lambert really seems to have a thing for this never-ending stuff. Okay, enough of that. It's starting to hurt my eyes. 这不就是轮回吗？这就是轮回啊。这里书颜色有点不太一样。Bookshelf. It's pretty dark in here, but I'm positive these are all the same book. Really thick ones, too. I doubt Lambert will miss a few. Just by the thickness of most of these, I can tell they aren't for me. For some reason, he's got a lot of copies of the same book, though. Same book? Infinite 什么东西啊 Who'd keep so many copies of the same book? It's too dark to make out of any of the titles. 啊，所以你要把这书扔进去，然后呢，是吧？还真是，你要把书扔到这里面。Dust print. Looks like there used to be a rifle mounted here. I'm not big on guns, but I sure could have used one back there with that scaly beast. 可以把它扔进去。There, this should work just great. 点燃了之后就会发生什么有趣的事情了。From the thickness alone, I can tell they are not any my kind of read. I'm really more a comics guy. I can barely make it out, but it looks a lot like the other paintings here. Everything ends up in the same place over and over again. I can barely make it out, but it looks like a okay. Piano. It's a grand piano. Still a piano. It's a grand piano. Still a piano. 不玩了，来吧。点燃了，变亮了。哦，成就已解锁 Fahrenheit 451 Fahrenheit。warm and cozy。Fahrenheit 451的话是摄氏多少度？华氏度451度。这当然是100度的意思吗？啊，对，华氏451。啊，华氏451度，果然是有个梗，是美国作家雷布莱伯利所著的反乌托邦小说，是一本书啊。Fahrenheit 451。但 Fahrenheit 451度是几度啊？ 华氏，它应该有个转换公式的。我猜450应该是个什么温度啊？不是吗？哦，还不止。因为摄氏度100度的话，其实华氏度才212度。那你华氏度如果要400多度，那很高哎。这可能有别的意思。那看来跟这温度可能没关系，就是一本书的原因，就是一本书。This is really nice. Warm and cozy. This is really nice. 这什么 rock?
Nice.
Oh, nice rock. Wait a minute. There's something under here. 有个暗门是吧 It's a trapdoor. No handle or even a place to put one. Maybe I could wedge something in the plank to pry it open. It worked. There's a ladder leading down to a basement of some kind. 这博士也是有意思的。然后呢 There's a lot of scuff marks. I guess Lambert couldn't decide how to decorate the place. Shelves. There's a lot of wine for just one guy. 我还以为是按钮呢，原来是 wine 是吧 There's one bottle missing from the shelf. Chateau Mouton Rouge jug for one guy. 这应该是法语。Well, sounds expensive. Bordeaux. I can't even pronounce the rest of these. Fuck off. Okay, that's quite enough French for one day. I'd better not. Besides, I'm more a beer guy. That's a lot. Looks like floor plans for the house with a lot of handwritten notes. It seems Lambert is planning a lot of renovations. All these changes make it look like a bomb shelter than a house. Bomb shelter. Looks like 还有什么东西？真的进去吗 The door's locked, but it doesn't feel too solid. I should be able to break this down with something. 进。这里实验室了。紧张。Tanning bulb. It's a tanning bulb. I guess even scientists want to look their best. These shelves are full of electronics parts. I wonder how he managed to haul all this stuff out here. These shelves are full. Okay. Trash can. Man, I've been in this job for too long. I can't even work by a trash can anymore without checking if it needs emptying. Thankfully, it's empty. Thankfully, it's empty. There's nothing in it. Blueprints. They are blueprints for a time machine. I don't exactly have an engineering degree, but it says so on the drawings. Lots of big words and numbers here, but the drawings are really cool. They are... 还有什么 blueprints 一样的是吧 Desk lamp. It's just a regular desk lamp. Not much to say about it. 这一样的是吧 Spherical contraption. Very sciencey. I have no idea what it does. I better not touch anything here. Very sciencey. 然后呢还能回去了是吧这个一般来说想不到。这个如果没有任何提示的话，可能比较难想到。就拿到这个灯，现在只有这个灯了，什么？是要把这个灯给换掉，把这个灯给换掉，然后就有能量了，然后就能，对，然后就能换了。Do that, click off。现在看起来只是个 lamp， 但是你把这个换了就可以了。smokes, that's bright， 非常亮。My time machine is working again. It's a lamp。这样就可以顺了。出不去了，但可以。就到这儿了是吧 ？Vines， 我去。然后呢，东西还挺多，这东西可以拿的吧？There's an axe in there. I can't reach it from here though. Those are some tough vines. Broken door 能出去吗 ？I need to get to Lambert. Inside is my best bet. I've come all this way. No way I'm turning back now. Ah, it's stuck. The door is stuck in the frame. I won't be able to get through that. Ah, 未来这里居然也是有那个什么 barrel. It's an empty barrel. The lid's stuck, but from the sound of it, it's empty. There doesn't seem to be anything in this. 这个呢 it looks like some kind of water collection system. He must be using this to water the plant. 你确定不是来喝的吗？这世界已经被污染了，是不是 ？The tank sounds full. 那就有水了。Raised beds, vegetables. This must be how he survived for so long. These crops look amazing. Is there nothing this guy can't do? Vegetables. Okay. Raised beds, fireplace. Looks like it's been a while since it saw any use. Trapdoor 肯定打不开了。Raised beds 啊，什么都中了，可以啊。I can't get a grip on it. There's no way to open it from up here. 所以只能在过去下去，然后在未来再行动了，是这样的。这树枝有用呢。A dry twig. I guess I've put stranger things to good use. 这还能用？一根树枝，再下去了。这么复杂。It's locked, and didn't this door used to be wood? For some reason, Lambert replaced his wooden doors with steel ones. It's locked. 估计都进不去了。Well, it's all steel now. I guess Lambert did some work on the place. It's made of thick steel and locked. It won't budge. There is enough food here to survive for a month. It's stocked up with supplies, food and detergent, mostly. Fire extinguisher. This is a lot lighter than I thought it would be. Oh wait, it's one of those extinguishers that need to be filled with water first. 哦，所以要去灌水的是吧？这么麻烦的吗？上得去吗？There's a lock on it now. I'm not getting out that way. 蛋疼。Shelves. There's enough food here to survive for a month. Food and detergent mostly. Detergent 啊，看来是真的是那个 flu 了 ，pandemic 是吧 ？Pandemic. This wasn't here before. There's a heavy, dusty steel door here. It's probably at least a couple of inches thick and is still locked. This 这有什么用啊？啊，这是未来的是吧？哦，这东西已经成了。Spherical contraption. Wow, man, this is really something. According to those other blueprints, this was Lambert's first vision of time machine. It looks completely abandoned, though. It's covered by a thick layer of dust. In its current state, I wouldn't trust this thing to get anyone to next Tuesday. I'm not touching it. What if it goes off like dry fireworks and takes my hand back to the 1920s? The mark is the second. This drawing is really complicated, but the outline of it look a lot like the machine I have. I think this might be the same time machine I've got. It's a bunch of drawings and floor plans of a big building. Wait, I recognize this. It's my workplace. This is Archon. These floor plans show every air duct, sewage pipe, and maintenance tunnel inside Archon. I guess this is how. 这就是他潜入的方法了。I guess this is how he got in. 但还是被人发现了，还是被一个那谁发现了，被他基友。后面就发生事情了。Oil drum. Got the lid off. It's full of oil. Considering how many times my life has depended on me holding on to stuff lately, the last thing I want is greasy hand. Greasy hand. The barrel is completely full. Turning the fire extinguisher flammable. Brilliant. You've outdone yourself this time, Joe. In fact, you better start writing your Nobel Prize acceptable speech because this is some top shelf thinking. Flammable. 只能用这个是吧？啊，这可以了。The twig is all oily now. Small photo lab. The small dark room over here. Red bulb, a photo equipment developer. It's got everything. This equipment isn't the kind you see in stores. It looks really expensive. This is not something you'd use for family photos. I wonder what Lambert uses for. 那肯定是他的意思。这博士不是很厉害的吗？博士不是非常厉害的吗？啊，出去了。啊，这个还能点燃的是吧？我操，这真的复杂。Okay, whatever I had in mind with this, I'd better get it quick. 你这个能烧多久？这个要是限时就麻烦了，还好没有限时。是灌水的是吧 ？All filled up with water. 不会吧？操！哦，不会吧？哦，你要把这个点燃是吧？我操，疯了吗 ？Set fire to an oil drum in the basement full of alcohol, top shelf stuff. Joe, how do you do it? 成就已解锁。啊，这原来是搞事儿的是吧？就尝试点的油桶是吧？Pyromaniac 这个词也可以查一下，这是一般是不太会考到，起码也是 GRE 级别的。Pyromaniac， 好词，什么意思啊？这么高级呢？纵火狂的意思，来发音一下。Pyromaniac， 纵火狂，这种词真是生僻词。然后呢？哈？哦，对呀、所以他让你先回来，就是为了成就了。如果没有这个的话，想当然确实会 miss。所以我觉得很奇怪呢，他居然要点火，对着这个油桶点火，那不是疯了吗？而且那个地方也没地方躲。一点呢，整个人都飞了，所以确实要把那个先干掉。这里不是有个树枝嘛，对吧？拿这个点掉，对，然后点掉之后，再灭火了，否则火太大了。Wow, that worked a little better than I thought it would. This I'm not sure I thought this through. Now what genius? I wish I'd paid more attention in Sunday school. I'm pretty sure Moses has some advice on burning vegetation. I should probably put that out before the whole place goes up in flames. This I'm not sure. Fuel is out. I think I'm done playing with fire for today. 然后就可以拿出来了是吧 Oh, it was stuck in the there pretty good, but I got it in the there accent. 啊，本来是木门的，本来这里还是木门是吧？啊，这细节做的可以。为什么会变成铁门？因为马上主人公要把这木门给劈了，所以就变成铁门了是吧？好意思。啊，这门可以劈的是吧？我操，所以变成铁门了。啊，东西这么多了，这里还有东西。Aquarium. Somebody's taking good care of this fish. Lambert has to be around here. He looks a lot like that fish I fed to the monstrosity outside. Now I feel really bad for the little guy. He looks a little lonely. Listen, buddy, if I come across a miniature castle or a little diver with a treasure chest, they are yours, deal. Globe. I'm not an astronomer, but I'm pretty sure that's the moon up there. 你确定是啊？是木，是木。That's a pretty neat globe. Shelves. There are a couple of notebooks in here. March 11th, 1971. I've prepared a logbook to document my progress. This is just in case something happens to me and someone else needs to continue my work. On June 16th, 1971. Preliminary build plans for my own homegrown. 还有没？等一下，一口气读完，这肯定要看的。先等一下，等它放一下。It's a couple of small trees. I wonder how Lambert keeps them alive down here. I don't know what kind of plants these are. They just look like little trees to me. He must have very green thumbs. Very green thumb. 这个叫睡觉的地方是吧 ？This bed 怎么看那个临床一样 ？Hard as a rock. This can't be good for a guy his age. What's he got stuffed in that mattress? A slab of concrete. 还有 abstract painting. No matter how many times I work those steps with my eyes, they always end up in the same place. Beyond. Lambert really has a fondness for this never-ending stuff. This painting hurt my head. Painting. Pretty. It's a dried flower, a rose of some kind, still very pretty. Alright, enough of that. June 16th, 97. Preliminary build plans for my own homegrown version of the IPMCI, which I will henceforth refer to as a time machine, should take me no less than 3 years to complete on my own, barring any setbacks, of course. This is just in case something happens to me and someone else needs to continue my work. 就省略号的意思就不用点了是吧？它自动会往下了是吧？很有可能不用点的。啊，果然 ，It's been just under a month since I left Archon. From what little I've heard, they seem to be pushing ahead with more time travel trials, despite all the setbacks. Fools, every last one. 它有这省略号就不用点，会继续下去。IPMCI are complete. 对，然后就可以了。OK， 我知道了，可以了。那看来这里重点是个灯吗？ It's a lava lamp, man. I love this. Lava lamp. 这么帅的吗？然后呢？啊，可以瞬移的。这边铁门了。It's locked. It's solid. It's solid steel. Bare fists aren't getting me through that. It's locked. 还有 abstract painting. 它是一样的。Plant. It's another small plant. I guess the old plants didn't make it, or grew too big for the room. I don't have much to say about it. I'd probably be pretty grumpy if I slept in a bed this hard every night. July 18th, 1972. No progress this week. 2 months of cold nights since the imbecile broke my bedroom door, and last night I nearly got murdered by a bear, so I finally caved and built new doors. I'd like to see him blunder his way through this. Still, I must admit he gives an entirely new meaning to the term idiot-proof. 说的谁不言而喻。This one is dated July the 3rd, 1985. It's a math. There is simply no fighting it. No way in hell am I going to reliably generate the 1.21 gigawatts required to power this. I'm scrapping it, the whole thing. Time to start over. I'm going in circles, and everything keeps bringing me back to the handheld device the idiot showed me. How in blazes did I accomplish that? 啊，这样就成为轮回了是吧 ？October 21st, 1993. Success. Using the salvaged photo equipment I scavenged in March, I've reduced the size of circuits in the fabrication process by an order of once I redesign and reproduce the rest of the components, this thing should be able to run off of a moderately sized. 这是真的快啊！操，你这个真的快。看一出来得及，读真的来不及。Dear Diary 啊，就能看完了。Here's one from December 31st, 1999. Well, however, to truth be told, I never imagined to be celebrating the turn of the medium of some god-forsaken pile of dirt in the middle of the swamp. 这样才读完。I've never been one of the parties, but given the chance, I'd give anything to make an ass for myself with a lampshade at some social gathering right now, rather than savoring the last moments of the year over yet another cabbage dinner and the last bottle of cheap merlot. 叽里叽里，这个还行，因为它没有省略号呢。这个我们估计用的灯了。It's an electrical socket. It's an electrical socket. Socket. 我去。然后呢，继续看吧。这我就 imbecile broke my bedroom door. I nearly got mauled by a bear. 第二次看就相对快很多了。I like to see him blunder his way through this. Still, I must admit he's given entirely new meaning to the idiom idiot-proof. 他自己就是证明这个 time machine 确实存在的。Science of math is simply not finding anything how going to reliably generate 1.21 gigawatts required to power the current design 这确实是一个这个涌动啊。I'm scrapping it, the whole thing. Time to start over. I'm going in circles, and everything keeps bringing me back to the handheld device that Edith showed me. How in blazes did I accomplish that? 所以你按照着Joe现在的状态，你就把这个仪器给他，让他研究这东西是吧？他晚年研究出来，然后呢回到过去，再把这东西给Joe，然后Joe再来找年轻的时候的自己，是这样的。这设定确实不新，但是依然读起来还是有味道。它是 in a fabrication process by an order of magnitude, salvaged photo equipment. Once I redesign and reproduce the rest of the component, this thing should be able to run off a moderately sized diesel generator. 是真的快的。Well, here we are. Truth be told, I never imagined I'd celebrating the turn of the millennium of some godforsaken pile of dirt in the middle of a swamp. 这个我之前应该读完了。就作为哪怕你对于一个英语母语，说是 English native speaker 来说，你也要读得快。你要像慢条斯理、节奏比较慢的语都不一定读得完。所以这个设计绝对是有问题的。这个设计绝对是有问题。太快了，你知道吗？太快了。你这个如果能发音发得很标准，准确读完了，那你这个什么，这口语方面呢，不仅仅是 above average 了，肯定已经是 excellency 了。太快了，速度，哪有这速度呢？ Wow, trippy. Hey, there's a bottle here. 本来是看不到的 ，electrical socket. 什么 bottle? Wine bottle. 啊，就为了这瓶子，我操 ！That's weird. I don't think this bottle is made of glass. Even the cork seems painted on. 就搞了半天就是为了这瓶子是吧？我操！这是个梗是吧？我看一下啊。那个成就是 Dear Diary。之前我认真在读那东西，所以我应该没看到。成就应该 Dear Diary。有人说门口真的有一个吗？这张还是有点长的。最后反正就想把那瓶红酒塞进去就算完成了嘛。后面不是还有个门吗？未来能看到那个门的，哪有个门？进门。进门上面有这么多瓶子，也是。进门中边就有一个对，这个不就有吗？这个也是，进门中边就有一个，操，确实如此。结果你还费了这么大一条路，就是为了把这瓶子塞进去，我操，这也是可以的。Use all a wine bottle with shelves. Far out, there's a secret passage behind the shelves. 然后就遇到人了是吧？进入安排一段长句来了，欣赏剧情我终于不用念了，我靠，我操，好帅呀他！
Stop right there.
怎么还拿了把来福枪
Whoa, wait. Mr. Lambert, sir, it's me.
他不认识你。
I don't know you. What are you doing in my house?
You sent me here, remember?
I've done no such thing. For an intruder, you're not very bright, you know that?
他的语速还没我快
All
一
the
下。
commotion you caused getting in here, you might as well have brought a bulldozer. Now, you have exactly 5 seconds to explain what you're doing here. Or so help me God, I'm pulling this trigger and sending you on your way. 5.
I was sent here.
4.
By you.
3.
You told me to find you, to warn you about the end of the world.
2.
You were old, with white hair, and you got shot. Oh, God, please don't shoot me, Mr. Lambert. This, you gave me this. It's an something chrono.
Chrono.
It's a time machine.
Chrono.
I gave you that?
Yes.
I've never seen anything like it. But on the back, that's my family's signet. I made this. It's simply magnificent. I gave this to you? Why? Who are you?
他就是个庶民，对 ，janitor。
I'm just a janitor at the Archon building.
Archon 是吧 ？Archon。
I found you in a room with a big round door in the basement labs this morning.
This morning.
And you were dying.
You were dying.
You said you'd come from 40 years in the future to stop the end of the world.
40年了是吧？
I guess I was the only one around. So you gave me this and told me to find you and tell you all this. And I've been there. The future, I mean. A bunch of times. And you were right, Mr. Lambert. Everyone's gone.
My God, so it did come to pass. They really did it, those greedy goddamn bastards. I told them this would happen. Wait, I was dying? How?
You said you've been shot. I had to actually find you at the morgue to get this address.
Shot? By whom? No, wait. Don't say anything else. You succeeded in finding me, which means anything you tell me from this point on could alter the course of action that brought you to my doorstep. The less I know, the better. So,
为了防止出 bug。
you've seen the future. What did you see?
Interesting.
It's like a bad dream, sir.
Bad dream, sir.
Everyone's gone. Buildings are coming apart. It's all just quiet. What happened, Mr. Lambert?
他肯定知道这东西。
It is Dr. Lambert.
Dr. Lambert.
And considering all the effort you just went through to find me, not to mention bearing witness to the horrific outcome of the biggest breakthrough in the history of science, I suppose I owe you some kind of explanation.
这博士胡子好长啊，好帅啊。然后呢？啊，有故事了是吧？我操，这不是猫啊？这猫还是狗？
I was 24 when I
24
got hired by Archon,
精英啊，
or Athena, as it was
Athena.
called back then.
雅典娜。
Athena was one of the many weapons R&D companies formed
R&D.
during the Second World War.
Second World War.
Unlike other R&D companies that had retooled themselves to pursue peacetime activities after the war, Athena had made enough money to continue chasing the next big thing in defense technologies. They were betting the farm on post-war Soviet expansion, raising the level of government paranoia to create a lucrative market for esoteric weapons research. I'd say they made the right bet.
嘛，就 time
Still a
traveler。
theoretical physicist at MIT.
MIT.
My thesis on the possibility of time travel via dimensional membranes got published shortly after I was hired in 1961. Company heads were so impressed,
现在已经70
they
多
gave
岁
me
了
a
啊
team
30 多
on
岁
a
了。
budget. Development exceeded even my own expectations. And after only 6 years, we had the first primitive version of the time machine up and running.
所以他本身也是那家公司的一员了，所以他才熟悉了。
Our first successful trials involved sending simple objects into the future with a timed return. But with Archon running out of money, that was all the company bigwigs needed to secure a big fat contract with the Department of Defense.
这个 defense 可能就是国防部的意思。
Apparently, we had sold them on the idea that the technology could be used to go back in time and strangle communism in its cradle. The reality, of course, was that it couldn't. Due to the laws of causality, you can't travel back in time beyond the point where time travel was invented. And sooner or later, we had to explain that to our benefactors. When they started pushing for progress reports, Archon management had to come clean, but instead chose to ease government concerns by claiming the technology could be used to bring back advanced weapons from the future.
我操！
But this too was a lie.
然后呢？ 谁啊？
At this point, we'd already had our first of many human trials, and we knew there would be no weapons. In fact, our results were as terrifying as they were baffling. Time pilots returned frenzied and confused, raving about empty streets and human remains. At first, we assumed the city had suffered a Soviet attack in the near future and had been evacuated as a result. But as we pushed on further, the terrible reality became clear.
应该是这个
Time
pandemic 问
pilots
题。
started returning fatally ill, dying within a day or two from painful convulsions.
Painful convulsions。
Some never returned. We lost several pilots, machine prototypes, and other equipment.
啊，这都在秘密进行的是
When
吧？
the first contamination erupted in the lab, we were completely unprepared, losing 3 lab technicians to what we later identified as an incredibly aggressive airborne virus.
他就搬到小岛上来。
Although we weren't equipped to handle biohazards of this magnitude, management insisted we contain and study it. To keep our pilots and the virus alive long enough to study, we co-opted experimental cryotechnology from another project, Lazarus, and established a makeshift virus lab. Once again, the bigwigs managed to spin our setbacks into a success story for the Department of Defense, now claiming that the virus could be cultivated for use as a biological weapon. The team threatened to resign, but outrage was swiftly quenched by promises of massive salary increases and stock options. I didn't take the bribe. I'd witnessed the lethal efficiency of the virus firsthand. I knew there was only one way this was going to end, so I handed in my resignation and set up shop out here. For over a year, I've been working to recreate the technology to bring me back in time and prevent mankind's extinction from ever happening. And now you're here, the harbinger of doom at my doorstep, wearing a boiler suit. Who could have imagined that Judgment Day would begin like any other Monday in May? In any case, unfathomable as it may be that you were able to bring this information to me, knowing is only half the battle. Preventing the outbreak will require more than just your tenacity.
Me? Wait, what?
Yes, I'm afraid I must rely on you one more time. You must go back to Archon and prevent the outbreak.
这样的吗？
No, that's, I mean, I'm really honored and everything, but...
Believe me, you're the last person in the world I want to entrust with this, and I mean that quite literally. But by this time tomorrow, the entire city will have succumbed to chaos, panic, and death. You're here now, and you're all I've got.
只有这一天是吧？
Wait, but what about you? Can't you fix this, Doc? Don't you have a plan?
I can't go myself, because that would break the law of causality. The only reason you are here to warn me now is because I was there to send you. And the only reason I was there to send you is because I was able to bring my work to fruition here.
But...
We've no time to waste. It's the only way. You told me you found me this morning, correct?
所以他下次也要回到这儿。
That means I failed to stop it, and the outbreak has already begun. The time pilot for today's trial must have brought the virus back from the future, which then somehow got out of the containment chamber and spread. That pilot is Patient Zero. I need you to destroy the supercomputer system controlling the time machine. All the research data is stored there too. You must destroy it before the time machine departs. I'm reconfiguring your device to send you back 1 day earlier. This should allow you ample time to return to Archon and get inside. On the other shore from here, about 500 yards down the road, is a rest stop. You'll find a van there, fueled and ready to go.
Oh, I already have a ride.
Which won't be there yesterday, you ninny. Now stop interrupting me. One last thing, and I need you to listen carefully because this is very, very important. Make sure you do not meet the earlier version of you.
Ah.
Why? What will happen?
No one knows for sure. It's one of the conundrums not yet accounted for. There are theories, of course. None of them pleasant. Now, let's get you ready.
这次他真的要回到过去了，现在还是现在。之前说的是未来跟现在，但这次真的是过去了。然后直接开始第8章了，是吧？啊，直接就开始了。打到这儿，其实有些我想有些人可能已经猜到了。
I nearly got killed trying to reach Dr. Lambert, thinking he had a plan. And it turns out it's me. I'm the plan. At least I don't have to walk back. This van's not as cool as the ambulance, but it has its charm. And it sure was nice of him to pack me lunch. I wish he'd pack me a can opener for the beans, though. And some gas for the Bunsen burner. But I'm sure I'll think of something. I've got several hours of driving ahead of me after all.
他就是0号哎。
It'll be almost morning before I get to Archon.
有个人带了个病毒在那边穿
Just
梭，
hope I have enough time.
但他穿梭的次数是最多的，那些实验人员基本都只穿梭了一次呀。你想他穿梭了几次，所以他获得这个概率肯定比其他人高。The night before， 哦，就回去了是吧？这还能回去？这里感觉没解释吧？强行回去了，强行开的车回去了。这里没有解释啊，这里其实因为啊，这个东西在目前看来，它只能在2个时间穿梭，就只能在，而且时间可能就是40年，就只能穿梭40年。你在那个现实生活中，比如说现在2021年，2021年，比如说打个比方嘛，2021年1月1号早上8点，你用这个东西跳到40年之后，然后再跳回来的时候，你无论在哪个世界经过了5分钟还是10分钟，那在哪个2个世界都是一样的。所以你如果在那个2021年1月1号8点钟跳到40年之后，在那边经过了1个小时了，回来就已经9点了。它应该是这么个设计，但现在莫名其妙给你穿越到这1天之前了，就违背了这假设了，这里就搞得很麻烦了。反正这类题材的到后面肯定会有点麻烦，不可避的。哦，outside Arkham. Having learned of the viral outbreak from Dr. Lambert, Joe must make his way back to Arkham on the night before the event to destroy the computer that controls the time machine. But first, he must find a way in. OK， 那一口气3章啊，所以暂停一下，再来一章。这章就长了，41分钟。